Good morning and welcome to my office and welcome to another video, and in a minute we'll get to some of the chores I did outside. I kind of wanted to show people thatching because I did a lot of thatching. Good morning. I'm going to be thatching today, and so I use this thatching rake that has these blades, and really all it does is kind of thin out the grass, and what it does up here is pull out all the moss. So I'm gonna go do that. I'll film a little bit so you can see what it's like to thatch up here. So this is what comes off of it. It's mostly just moss. And I'll take the camera over there and show you what the ground looks like. So this is the area I just thatched, and you can see that it kind of thins out, it thins it out, and it lets the good grass kind of get some air. So that's what I'm doing today, thatching. On Saturday, we tried to start my car and it barely started. So on Sunday, we went for a drive and we found a park. I've been doing a lot of thinking, and here's some of my thoughts. One, all I've done since we've kind of gone into quarantine is survive. I've gone to work Monday through Friday in my office here, and on weekends I try to get by, and I've tried to maintain a relationship with my mom and keep her going, but you know, in reality I think she keeps me going. Two, I have had to start thinking differently and cherishing others and their ideas more. And I'm going to say something that people used to tell me at work that I never really got, but I kind of think it's the way people are. So sometimes at work I would say, you know, if we do X, this evil Y thing is going to happen. And people would tell me, Irene, you're just being negative. You are always looking at the worst possible outcome, and you shouldn't do that. And I would say, but I think the bad thing is going to happen. And I had a coworker one time tell me, sometimes the bad thing does have to happen, and then the change comes. And nothing has been truer to me of that point than this epidemic or pandemic. So by thinking differently, I think about my sister, who has always kind of been self-sufficient and kind of an isolator, and someone who thinks you should have very little and maybe grow your own food. And she's always been so attuned to what we would call the service sector needs. So I would, if I was in charge, I would put her on a committee to like decide what the new world should look like. And I've been thinking about that in my life, and so that's one thing I'm thinking differently of. Another thing is, like, Karen and I are getting a stimulus check from the government, and I know the government doesn't know who kept their job and who didn't, who needs help and who doesn't, but really, do I need that stimulus check? But the government gave it to me, and so Karen and I have been thinking about where we're going to donate it. Normally, if I had gotten something like that, I would think about, ooh, what toy do I want? So that's something else to think differently of. And the other thing is, my workplace is starting to plan, they're not even getting ready to do it, but plan what the workplace will look like when we come back. And I've always hated these huge open cube farms. I think for me, they're not productive, and I get distracted and I get apprehensive and I get anxious by all the chitter chatter about things. Like, I need a new car, and what kind of car should I buy? And it makes me think the kind of car I have is bad or whatever. And I've been so productive in my protected little office here, and I've just chugged out the work. So I've been thinking differently about what workspaces will look like, and maybe I can work from home more often. And then the other thing is just how content I am with what I have, and how I don't need to travel huge distances. I would like to see my mother, and I'm thinking about how that could look, maybe a road trip. But I don't need to travel to foreign countries. I would like to see our own country more, and maybe Canada more, but I don't need to go on these big airline trips. And so I've been thinking about everything differently. It looks like Washington has finally come out with a plan of how we're going to open up our economy. And I had a Zoom, my first Zoom. People were real interesting. One woman works for, I think she works for Amazon, but she was talking about how they've been trying to help storefronts come online and sell through Amazon, and how rewarding that's been, and how we have to, well, she had some political thoughts too, but a very positive thing. A lot of people have been supporting local businesses, and one woman is making masks. So my Zoom happy hour was very positive, and while I don't like happy hours, I like Zoom happy hour, so that was something fun. So anyway, thinking different is kind of what I've been doing, and now it's time to go to work. So everybody, I hope you have things that you can look forward to and work on and do, and I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.